The apocalyptic vision of fire bursting from the earth haunts man with the image of all in nature that is beyond his control. In the face of destruction, man turns to his God. His faith and the will to believe are all he has against the fear and despair that have always been part of his precarious place on the planet. History is filled with the struggles of the human spirit to endure against forces in nature we can neither understand nor control. Man remains helpless when facing the awesome powers of the violent earth. Before man, before any living thing, the surface of an infant planet evolved in a process of violence that is still going on. The volcano gives man a fiery image of a time in the Earth's development, some 4 billion years ago. Magma, the seething mixture of molten rock and gases that breaks through faults in the Earth's crust as volcanoes, forms the surface of the planet we brazenly call our own. The cooling volcanic landscape, a world of gray desolation, provides a wondrous paradox. It is the ravaged corpse on which life appears. With life comes man. Harun Taziev is a 58-year-old geologist who has challenged the forces of nature for a quarter of a century. At the head of a team of French and Swiss scientist mountaineers, he explores the barren slopes and poisonous gases that have shrouded volcanoes in legend since the beginnings of man. At the top of the world, he seeks out the power that begins in the heart of the earth. Harun Taziev's laboratory is the crater lip of an active volcano. Perched on the edge of eternity, he collects and measures the deadly swirling gases in search of an answer to the mystery of volcanic activity. In his personal struggle with the Earth's power, he has led the little-known science of volcanology out of the laboratory to the volcano itself. Throughout Europe, they are known as Taziev's gang. The unorthodox scientific team includes volcanologists, chemists, nuclear physicists, and alpine mountain climbers. They share a kind of athlete's devotion to a winning coach, a total commitment to science and nature, and an unabashed love of adventure. Taziev has added the mountaineer's daring to the scientist's curiosity. He and members of his team have climbed volcanic peaks from Iceland to Africa, from the Andes to Indonesia. From the crater of an active volcano to a rugby field in Paris is not really much of a jump for Tazieff and his personal brand of science and sport.
I became this strange type of volcanologist I am. From the very start, I tackled the volcano not only from a scientific point of view, but at the same time from a battling point of view, from a sporting point of view. To me, from the very first time, the volcanic eruption was a challenge, something to win, you see. And as I am an old mountaineer, ancient boxer, and still rugby player, as soon as a challenge arises, I'm like a bull, ready to fight it.
Mount Etna, Sicily, April 5th, 1971. The largest active volcano in Europe provides Tazieff and his team with the perfect laboratory. A volcano in full eruption. On the trembling mountain already scarred with craters of hundreds of past eruptions, new fissures burst open. Instruments for collecting and measuring the volcanic gases must be carried by volcanologists to the source of the eruption through a red-hot rain of flying lava. Like knights in some mythical joust, the volcanologists approach the dragon and poke their lances into its flaming mouth. The temperature at the vent is almost 2,000 degrees. If they are struck by a chunk of burning lava, it could tear through the helmet and the man inside. Again and again, Tazieff and his scientists pit their strength against the power of the volcano. The jets of gas burst out of the vent at a velocity of 500 feet per second. In the deadly swirling gases above the cauldron of molten rock, a lone man defies the Earth's mightiest force. On a mountaintop in Sicily, reality takes on the unearthly image of science fiction. For 69 days, Mount Etna roars out her fury, annihilating everything that stands before it. The relentless lava pours down the slopes, as it has since Etna's first recorded eruption, more than 2,000 years ago. The tiny wine-growing village of Fornazzo lies helpless in its path. For 5 years, Mount Etna rumbled a warning to the people of Fornazzo. They would not leave their village. They remain in the vineyards even now. It is their land. The constant threat of eruption is the price they pay for the most fertile soil in Sicily, Etna's volcanic slopes. Lava flows through the outlying vineyards to the town of Fornazzo itself. The people grudgingly accept their fate. To live on the slopes of Mount Etna is to know how powerless man really is against the unknown forces locked deep in the earth that will someday, any day, rise up to destroy him. Yet there are those who remain. They will stay on their land until the last possible moment. Theirs is the human spirit that stands against the forces of destruction and clings to life. That spirit is Taziev's message in the lecture halls of Europe. We are man, he tells us. We can't wait for the powers of nature to wash us away. We must meet them head on their own terms, and we must win. Always, it is the athletic challenge. He tells the students, science is my life, the sport of it, my passion. For years, Taziev was considered a rebel scientist, an adventurer. Today, he is the director of France's National Center for Scientific Research. His challenge to nature is accepted by young people all over the world.
Last call for Flight 23, boarding at Gate 9. Flight 411, now arriving.
At New York's John F. Kennedy Airport in the summer of 1972, a group of American students prepare to join Taziev on an expedition through the rainforest of Central Africa to an active volcano called Nyiragongo.
I don't know what to expect. I'm just kind of tagging along.
Did you know that we're going to live inside the volcano?
Yeah, Bob had told me that.
Yeah.
The students are scholarship winners from all over the United States, chosen by the Explorers Club and the U.S. Office of Education. With them is a group of interested amateurs whose dream is field research. They were selected not only for their interest in the earth sciences, but also for their athletic ability and personality. Taziev's Nyiragongo expedition will test them beyond the limits of scientific inquiry.
Only one small part of Africa.
After a 22-hour flight, the students arrive in the Republic of Zaire, once the Belgian Congo. They are met by Robert Citron, head of Educational Expeditions International, a Massachusetts-based organization that sponsors scientific field expeditions for students and amateurs. A bewildering blur of sights and sounds flies past the students as the expedition speeds towards its destination. They have only a few days for sightseeing on their way across Zaire's wide savannas before they will meet Tazieff and the rest of the expedition. It is the only chance the students will have to see the Africa which has haunted the imagination of Western man. For a few days, they are tourists in the exotic panorama where tribal life and wild animals exist together in a landscape of dreamlike contradictions. The student safari is stopped at a river in the foothills of the volcanic Virunga mountain range. From here, the Americans are able to see for the first time the reason they have come 6,000 miles from home. Ahead of them, rising out of the jungle mists, is Nyiragongo. In the tribal village of Kibati, at the foot of Nyiragongo, men from the surrounding area have come to work as bearers for $1 a day. 150 are chosen. Harun Tazieff is assembling the largest group ever to climb Nyiragongo. The bearers will carry the expedition's 3 tons of supplies and scientific gear in packs of 40 pounds each on their backs, or in more traditional African fashion. Besides the Americans, there's an international brigade of scientists and a dozen skilled mountain climbers brought along by Tazieff as a safety precaution. For the 58-year-old Tazieff, the expedition may be the last round in the continuing battle he's fought with the mountain since 1947. He was on Nyiragongo then as a geologist, and the experience thrust his career and his life in a new direction.
But I was not interested, because I didn't know it was active, and I was not a volcanologist. Okay. Then in 48, I came back as a volcanologist.
For the first few miles, the students managed to keep up with Tazieff. The twisting elephant trails that zigzag up the 11,400-foot mountain become an exhausting classroom for the old mountaineer's impromptu lectures on volcanology. Deeper in the rainforest, the walk becomes a climb, and the expedition breaks into many small groups, each keeping its own pace. The air is noticeably thinner, and climbing is difficult.
How was it?
Marvelous. Except we're famished.
Here you go.
Hey, that's pretty good. Here, got one.
I got a cramp in there. Coffee, tea, or milk?
How about some soup? More soup?
I think we could have gone faster. It was just more fun this way.
Come on, the last one up. Come on, come on.
If you promise to put it at the front.
The first day ends 2/3 the way up the mountain, 9,000 feet above sea level. From here, they can see the bleak, wind-swept summit of Narragongo. After a 2-day climb through sweltering rainforest, a group of American students reaches the near-freezing summit of Narragongo. They have come 6,000 miles for the experience.
Oh my God! Look at that!
Took you long enough to get here.
Look at that!
So long.
You can't picture something.
It was flinging some hot rocks up a while ago.
Do you believe that? You see that rock there, that big rock? Yeah, the one that's kind of... That's where we're going to be standing on.
We're going to be standing on that big rock?
That's where that other guy was photographed from, right?
You can see the lava. Look
at it. Look at it. Look
It's
at
coming
it.
bouncing up right there. Look at it breaking up right. You see it right there?
Wow.
650 feet below is Narragongo's active lake of molten lava. Sudden eruptions causing the lake to rise and fall spasmodically will make any attempt to reach it extremely dangerous, if not impossible.
And it overflow it, you'll see it when you'll be down. And then it receded, and a small collapse of the whole former, in the whole former pit.
The lava fountain.
Yes, you can say so.
I don't believe it.
It looks like it's rising, doesn't it?
A night will pass on the rim before the students are allowed to descend into Narragongo. The mountaineers have already roped off a trail into the volcano and set up a scientific advance camp below.
I think our strongest mountaineer after Michel has been violently struck by a falling stone. He is now with a hurt shoulder, yes, and out of use. And he got it on the shoulder, fortunately, because it was a very big stone, and on the head, even with a helmet, it could be really a big danger. So
Tazieff is concerned for the safety of the students. 2 of his mountaineers have been struck by falling stones. A few weeks earlier, an experienced African climber fell to his death.
best mountaineers in the world.
For their descent, the students will be roped to mountaineers, all alpine veterans.
Even if you fall, no problem. You are safe. The main thing is to stand as erect as possible and as far as possible from the wall, and relax.
Tazieff has demanded only one thing from the students he's chosen to make the climb. Each must carry his own supplies along the trail of loose rock down the 650-foot almost vertical wall. The descent into Nyiragongo, the most dangerous 45 minutes of their lives, has brought the students within sight of the scientific camp on the floor of the caldera. The students have entered Taziev's world. They are inside an active volcano. Nothing is as it seemed from above. For the first time, they realize the true size of the caldera. It has been a half-mile walk across the volcano's floor to reach the camp. The students face the vast gray emptiness with a mixture of exhilaration and fear. They are in a giant bowl, almost a mile across, surrounded by walls of volcanic rock. For the students on the edge of the fire pit, Nyiragongo's lava lake is sheer savagery and beauty. To the scientists, it's a perfect research laboratory, a constantly erupting volcano. Sampling and measuring the gases for composition, temperature, and pressure is the volcanologist's primary objective. Two of the students have convinced Taziev to let them help with a gas collecting experiment. By measuring changes in the gases over long periods of time, volcanologists believe they might be able to predict volcanic activity. So far, the scientists have considered the American teenagers tourists. When the students prove they can withstand the noxious fumes, they win the respect of the professionals.
Volcanologists who intend to investigate the eruptive phenomenon itself should be tough. They should also be excellent comrades, as we say in French, the bon camarade. They should help each other. It's a team. It is a teamwork. A teamwork like for a football team, you see. When we see an erupting volcano and our mind asks, what is this phenomenon? How does it work? The answer lies in the very fire itself. This is absolutely unique. You see the lace shows the shape of the huge exploding gas bubble. You see the expanding gas bubble materialized by these lava laces. All the topography, all the morphology, all the activity was practically identical. No changes, almost no changes, but minor ones. And now big changes are occurring.
The activity of the lava lake has increased tremendously since Taziev's arrival. Many times each day, without warning, the molten lava rises hundreds of feet and fills the fire pit. Clinging to a tiny spot on the edge of the inferno, they face the awesome power of Nyiragongo. Taziev and his team of volcanologists are battered by a steady rain of burning lava pellets. Lifelines tied around their waists are anchored in the ground to keep them from being sucked into the vortex of the fire pit. For more than 2 hours, Taziev and his men risk their lives for a few precious ounces of gas. Almost 2 weeks of frustration have passed since the expedition camped on the cold gray floor of Nyiragongo. Many of the scientists have left in disappointment. All that remains of the expedition are a few members of Taziev's gang, his trusted mountaineers, and the 4 students he selected to stay. In 1948, Taziev was the first man ever to descend into Nyiragongo, a climb experts considered impossible. Only once in 1959 was he able to reach the lava lake itself. He is determined to try again. Nyiragongo is practically on the equator, yet temperatures in the caldera are always near freezing. It is the bone-chilling reality of camping more than 11,000 feet above sea level.
All actual experience is the best thing one can give to young people. I have now not only seen a rather crazy volcano and crazy volcanologists, but I've seen also, and this is most important, I think, much more important for them, psychological and human problems of existing together on the same place. See? We are rather abnormal volcanologists because we choose more or less deliberately the difficult path instead of the easy path. When we planned this expedition, the lava lake was much higher, the level was much higher, and was of a difficult access, but was accessible. Now the lava lake would be accessible if these sudden overflows did not occur.
The turbulence of the lava lake, its wild rising and falling, has changed the crater of Nyiragongo.
Canvas grid,
right?
Well, the scale is 1 for 2,000.
Taziev's only map is from the 1959 expedition. He wants accurate measurements of the present crater, and the students volunteer for the task.
Right.
Then you could go to the X dike. You know the X dike? Yeah. The small like X dike.
Okay, Peter, come on up. Yeah.
Making do with the only equipment available, the students improvise with a camera rangefinder and a mountaineer's rope to measure the crater. The brittle surface is lava, the residue of an eruption that occurred a few months earlier, when the lake overflowed and covered the floor of the volcano. Each crunching footstep is a warning that the entire caldera could be filled again with boiling lava. Taziev's wife, France, has made the long hike to the summit and the treacherous climb into the volcano to be with her husband. She wants to be with him on Nyiragongo when he attempts to descend into the fire pit. The chances of success seem to lessen with each passing hour. The low rumbling, which is always heard in the caldera, becomes a roar. This night on Nyiragongo is different. The sky burns with an eerie brilliance. It draws the few remaining members of the expedition to the lake of molten lava. Nyiragongo will show man just how small he really is. "14 days have passed. The mountaineers have tried twice without success to descend into the fire pit. They were stopped by fumes from 2 new vents which have burst open. Taziev is determined to make at least one attempt himself. Against the advice of his own mountaineers and the other scientists, Taziev will risk the descent into the fire pit. He will attempt to reach the lava lake. The fire pit is thick with deadly gases and covered with the still hot lava of the previous night's eruption. Tazieff hopes at least to collect some samples of Nyiragongo's newest lava, literally just a few hours old. When he goes over the lip of the crater, he will not be able to be seen by the men handling his lifeline. He will be alone against the volcano. He has always said the mountain is the master. The volcano dictates the terms and most often wins. Even though Tazieff may be hurt, the mountaineers and students who are manning his lifeline must pull it up slowly, one short grip at a time, or Tazieff may be torn to pieces on the jagged volcanic rock. For a minute, he is lost entirely in a cloud of steaming gas, bursting from one of the new vents. Tazieff's gas mask has failed. He has been helpless in the deadly fumes. Without oxygen, he weakened and slipped from the ladder. His lungs are scalded by the steaming gas. He wants to go down again, but even the old mountaineer admits the struggle on the rope has exhausted him. This time, Nyiragongo has won.
I feel Bach or Mozart or Haydn or Vivaldi do far better on a high mountain, in a big cave, or in an active volcano than in a concert hall. Because beautiful music is something as splendid as nature itself.
There is more for Harun Tazieff in the volcano than science and adventure. There is the music of the human spirit that cries out to be heard, above the chaos of nature's indifferent roar. There is the dream in man's soul not to conquer nature, but to live with her in harmony. It has been so since man first realized how lonely and insignificant is his place on this violent earth. The merciless fury of nature continues to batter man's fragile foothold on the planet. In the tragic aftermath of tidal wave and flood, volcanic eruption and earthquake, man has little left but his own will to survive. All over the world, even modern technology proves no defense against the infinite destructive forces of nature. The power that demolishes the monuments to man's progress takes its greatest toll on human life. The frail figure of man, struggling for life against natural disaster, shows the helplessness of all nations when faced with the awesome powers of the earth. Yet man endures on the planet. It seems the same unconquerable power of nature is in the nature of man.
I think that man's nature is to fight. Beginning it was to fight against nature just to survive. Then it was to fight against other men, to get more places, to become more powerful. When man is what is now called civilized, he tries to fight against ignorance, tries to understand. All science, all scientific purpose is to try to diminish the huge amount of ignorance in which we live, to try to understand the world, the outside world, the inside world, and all this is extraordinarily thrilling. And doing things, on the other hand, doing things against what seems to be unvanquishable is also extremely exciting. Both of these very human tendencies are at the base of our try to understand volcanoes.